Brothers and sisters of Africa, my people of Burkina Faso, and to every heart across the world that still believes in freedom, listen to me. Because today, I do not come to speak about dreams, I come to speak about proof. Proof that Africa will build her future with her own hands, from her own soil, with her own courage. They told us we were too poor to build. They told us we needed their money, their companies, their architects, their approval. But we looked at the ground beneath our feet. We saw the dust, the tires, the things the world calls waste, and we said, this is not trash. This is power from what they threw away. We are building the largest hotel in Africa, made from old tires. Yes, you heard me well. The largest hotel in Africa, born from what the world rejected. Because we, the sons and daughters of this continent, reject the idea that greatness must come from Europe or America. We will make greatness rise from the soil of Africa itself. This hotel is not just a building, it is a declaration. It says, we will not beg for tools to build our own house. It says, we will not wait for aid to create our destiny. It says, Africa can, Africa will, and Africa must stand tall again. When the colonizer looks at an old tire, he sees garbage. But when the African revolutionary looks at that same tire, he sees a wall, a room, a school, a future. That is the difference between a master and a free man. We see potential where they saw dependence. We see beauty where they saw waste. We see hope where they saw despair. Our ancestors built kingdoms with their bare hands, without machines, without loans, without permission. They raised civilizations that stood long before Europe knew the word civilization, and today their spirit runs through our veins. This project, this hotel, is not just for Burkina Faso, it is for Africa, for every child who has been told, you cannot. They told us to destroy our old ways and follow their system. But look at what that system gave us: poverty, hunger, and humiliation. Today, we turn our backs on their system. We are creating a new model, an African model, a model that respects nature, values people, and uses what we already have, because everything we need to rise is already here, under our feet, in our hearts, in our unity. This hotel will welcome not just guests, but believers, those who believe in the rebirth of Africa. Its walls, made from old tires, will whisper stories of transformation. Every tire, once rolling under the burden of colonial trade, will now stand proudly as part of a revolutionary structure, a symbol of freedom and rebirth. Some will laugh, some will mock. They always do. They laughed when we said we would fight terrorism without the West. They laughed when we said we would control our gold and our land again. But we showed them that the laughter of the weak cannot stop the steps of the brave. Let them laugh again, because while they mock, we build. While they plot, we plant. While they exploit, we create. And when they wake up, Africa will already be standing strong, united, unstoppable. My people, this is not just about a hotel. It is about the message behind it. We are turning trash into treasure, waste into wealth, weakness into power. We are proving that our imagination is stronger than their sanctions. We are showing that progress is not measured in dollars, but in dignity. When the first guest walks into that hotel, they will not just see walls of tires. They will see the spirit of a continent that refused to kneel. They will see the hands of workers who said, we will not wait for permission to build. They will see the pride of a people who decided that their destiny will no longer be written by foreign hands. This project will employ our youth, train our builders, inspire our engineers, and awaken our artists. It will tell every African, you do not need to run away to find a future. Build it right here with what you have, because the real wealth of Africa is not in its mines, but in its minds. Not in its gold, but in its people. And I say this to the world, we are not against cooperation, but we reject domination. We are not against friendship, but we reject control. We are open to the world, but we will no longer be owned by it. Burkina Faso will build its own path. Africa will walk again with her head held high. This hotel will be the proof that when Africans unite behind a vision, nothing is impossible. It will stand as a monument to courage, not marble, not glass, but recycled Tyres that carry the weight of history and the hope of tomorrow. It will tell future generations that we once took the things the world called useless and turned them into symbols of liberation. To the youth listening to me, do not wait for the West to give you opportunities. Create your own. Pick up the tools. Learn, build, innovate. The future belongs to those who dare. The The revolution is not in words, it is in action, in creation, in unity. To our African brothers and sisters beyond our borders, this victory is yours too. From Senegal to Sudan, from Ghana to Congo, from Mali to Zimbabwe, we are one people. The chains they used to divide us are breaking. Let us rebuild together. Let us prove to the world that when Africa rises, she rises for everyone. And to the foreign powers who still dream of control, understand this clearly: your era is ending. The new Africa does not beg, does not bow, and does not break. We build, we resist, we rise. So when you hear about the largest hotel made of old tires, do not just think of architecture. Think of revolution. Think of rebirth. Think of Africa's return to glory. Our struggle is not only with guns, it is with ideas, with creation, with courage. We are showing that real power is not in destroying, it is in building. My people, this is our time. Let every hammer that strikes, every tire that stands, every wall that rises, carry our message to the world. Africa is awake, and she will never sleep again. From the dust of our land, we are building dreams. From what they called waste, we are building wonders. From what they left behind, we are building the future. Because we are not slaves anymore. We are the builders of a new Africa. And I promise you, this is only the beginning. The first message in this speech is the rejection of dependency and the awakening of African self-reliance. Ibrahim Traore reminds his people that Africa no longer needs permission, aid, or validation from former colonial powers to build its destiny. He turns what others call waste, old tires, into a symbol of power and independence. This transformation from trash to treasure mirrors Africa's own awakening, a continent that has been underestimated, now reclaiming its dignity and creativity. Traore declares that greatness will not come from the West, but will rise from African soil, crafted by African hands. It's not only a speech about a building, it's about self-belief, the spiritual rebirth of a people who were told they couldn't create, now proving that they can and will. The second message is the power of transformation, the ability to turn pain, rejection, and brokenness into strength and beauty. In this vision, every tire used in the hotel becomes a metaphor for the African story, once discarded, now essential. Traore paints a picture of Africa transforming its struggles into innovation, its oppression into inspiration. He speaks to the youth and workers, urging them to see opportunity where others see waste, to build with what they have. This project becomes more than construction. It becomes a lesson in resilience, creativity, and spiritual defiance. It teaches that revolution is not just protest, it is creation. True power, Traore says, lies in the ability to transform the useless into the unforgettable. The third message is a call for unity, the breaking of artificial borders and divisions that were designed by colonial hands. Traore speaks to all Africans from Mali to Zimbabwe, calling them brothers and sisters in one shared struggle. He envisions a continent united not by language or lines on a map, but by purpose and pride. The hotel project is framed as a continental symbol representing the strength of collective effort and shared destiny. He tells the people that Africa's rise must be a united rise, because divided they remain weak, but together they are unstoppable. This unity is not just political, it's emotional, cultural, and revolutionary, a call to rebuild Africa as one body, one soul, one voice. The fourth message is defiance against neo-colonial control and Western hypocrisy. Traore challenges the mindset that Africa must forever depend on foreign powers for progress. He confronts the West directly, telling them their time of domination is ending and that Africa will no longer bow. His tone is fearless, unyielding, and proud. He redefines cooperation as equality, not submission. The hotel, made from discarded global waste, becomes a symbolic victory over systems that once exploited Africa. He tells the world that Burkina Faso will build its own future, not with dollars, but with dignity. In his words, every wall built is a wall of resistance, and every room in that hotel stands for freedom from foreign chains. The fifth message is the rebirth of African identity through creation and action. Traore emphasizes that the revolution is not just about fighting, it is about building, imagining, and leading. He calls on the youth to stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. The act of construction becomes sacred. Every hammer, every wall, every tire is a statement of purpose. He celebrates the workers, engineers, and dreamers as the true revolutionaries. The message is clear: Africa's future belongs to those who act. By building this hotel, The nation declares that progress is not granted, it is forged, and through this creation, the spirit of Africa rises again, proud, free, and eternal.